Hey, what's going on, guys? So, Halo had its second episode come out, and well, not as much of a train wreck as the first episode. There was a few nuggets that made it bearable, and I'll go over the episode and add my thoughts in between. So, this episode picks up right after the events of the first episode, which Chief and Quan are on the run from the UNSC. John takes Quan to the artifact, and in the artifact to Rebel, a secret insurrection safe haven carved out of a series of broken asteroids. This is kind of the coolest part of the show for me. They really captured what Rebel looked like. The city built out of asteroids, but other than the whole trans system kind of being impossible with the trams literally like flying in the air to catch lines out of nowhere, kind of made no sense because the asteroids were always moving around. You could see like prior to the making it, you can see they were having it was a whole chase scene through the asteroids. The usual asteroids going to crush the ship and all that. So the asteroids were always moving around. So it kind of made the whole thing impossible. So how is it possible to have a line set up to the outer asteroids connecting from the main one? Just some practical stuff I noticed right away. So they meet up with Soren, a former Spartan and a strange friend of John who escaped from the UNSC years earlier. John discovered Soren during his escape, but gave him 5 minutes head start before alerting the authorities. This is where the show kind of goes off the rails. First off, John is walking around with his helmet off for most of the show again. I still don't know why they want him helmetless, especially in areas that aren't like safe. Even if he has a friend there, you don't know how who's gonna shoot you. And on that, I don't know how John knew he was there. In the flashback, he made no reference to going to Rebel. So how did Soren know he was going to go there? How did he know he'd be there? Something that really wasn't explained. I'm sure that's gonna be one of many things. On the planet Reach, Catherine Halsey faces intensive scrutiny over John's actions, but promises a solution for his and any future problems in the nature, aka Cortana, while Captain Key dispatches Silver Team to find John and bring him back with the artifact and the fugitive insurrectionist. That would be Quan. On high charity, the surviving elite from Major Girl reveals to the prophets, their blessed one, that John activated the relic. Despite hesitance from the Prophet of Mercy, the Blessed One insists on venturing out to retrieve the relic herself as she passes for human. I'm not sure what the plans are with these characters. The UNSC politics are really boring to watch, and it's just red tape before they really roll out Cortana and talking with people they don't even know who they are. So just throwing in characters with ranks that mean nothing to nobody, and Halo really fumbling the world building. You bring up these areas of people that mean nothing to nobody. They didn't even explain what Reach was. So this just really just adds context that with no really substance in it. Back on Rebel, Soren takes John to the local homeless shelter to meet Reth, a deranged hermit who thinks he's Spider-Man, who was once held captive by the Covenant. So now he's the leading expert on all Covenant things because he was a prisoner on the Covenant ship once, and they must have told him everything about their plans. Reth forces John to reveal his ability to activate the artifact and hints that it leads to the alien super weapon of unparalleled destructive power. Shaken by the experience, because that's what we want to see, our helmetless hero being a pussy. John leaves Quan and Soren, and hopefully she'll stay there because she's literally the worst part of the show. And if we don't have to see her again, that'd be great. But I doubt we'll be that lucky. And hands himself over to the UNSC. He's consoled by Catherine, who promises a new beginning for him, thanks to a new creation of the code name Cortana. The only positive aspect I found this episode was Soren. Him breaking control from Halsey was something new that works, because they kept it pretty accurate, because the Spartan 2s were actually kidnapped children who underwent the most physical and mental training out of all the Spartans. So you can see that with his charred arm. He has the potential to be like the only character in the story because of the hardship Halsey put him through and seeing the freedom he has now. This show is still looking like another reason why video games to show / movies aren't a good idea. Just a bunch of no-name people running around, not knowing who they are. Planets that mean nothing with a main character who loses the iconic armor he wears at a moment's notice for any reason is why I think the show is going to fail. And Paramount will just drag Chief's costume around as an empty prop in an empty show. Anyways, thanks for listening. Comment below what you thought. I'd like to hear what how other people think of this show other than my small circle. And I'll catch you next time.